Before watching the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch the video till the end. You will love my video. We need your support. How ancient events shape America's future today. What if I told you that the choices made thousands of years ago by ancient empires, philosophers, and forgotten civilizations are still shaping America's politics, economy, and even culture today? From the laws we follow, to the wars we fight, to the technology we create, America's future is not just being written in Washington, it was written long ago in the sands of Egypt, the streets of Rome, and the wisdom of Greece. History isn't just the past, it's America's blueprint for tomorrow. When Americans think of the future, the mind often rushes toward visions of technology. Self-driving cars, artificial intelligence, space colonies, and medicine that can rewrite DNA. We imagine political debates over climate change, economic competition with rising superpowers, or the question of whether democracy itself can survive another century. What almost never crosses people's minds is how deeply the ancient past, thousands of years before the United States even existed, still shapes the path ahead. And yet history is a mirror. The lessons, triumphs, and mistakes of ancient civilizations are not relics trapped in dusty museums. They are alive, breathing quietly beneath every law, every political decision, every cultural value in America today. The rise and fall of Greece and Rome, the innovations of Egypt and Mesopotamia, the wisdom of native tribes, the trade networks of Asia, all of them ripple forward in time, echoing through America's present and quietly molding its destiny. The United States is, in many ways, the modern version of an ancient empire, ambitious, wealthy, powerful, and globally influential. And like those great civilizations of the past, its survival depends on whether it can learn from their examples, or whether it will repeat their mistakes. This journey will take us back thousands of years, to Athens and Rome, to the Silk Road, and the pyramids, to the Iroquois Confederacy and the philosophers of Greece, showing how their choices long ago still live in America's DNA. More importantly, it will reveal what those echoes suggest about the future. Will the United States endure, or will it collapse like the civilizations it once studied? The ancient roots of democracy. If there is one cornerstone of America's identity, it is democracy. But this revolutionary idea that people, not kings or tyrants, should rule themselves did not begin in Philadelphia in 1776. Its earliest experiment began more than 2,000 years ago in ancient Athens. In Athens, citizens gathered in an assembly to vote directly on laws. It was messy, chaotic, and imperfect. Women, slaves, and foreigners were excluded, leaving only a fraction of the population with real power. But the principle of citizen rule planted a seed. For the first time, people realized that governance did not have to come from divine right or military conquest. It could come from the collective will of the people. When the founding fathers studied history, they obsessed over Athens. Thomas Jefferson admired its spirit of liberty. John Adams warned of its instability. The U.S. system of government, where ordinary citizens elect representatives to speak on their behalf, was designed as a modern evolution of this ancient concept. But it wasn't just Greece. The Roman Republic offered another vital blueprint. Rome perfected the system of checks and balances, with 2 consuls, a senate, and various assemblies sharing power. This system was designed to prevent any one person from becoming too powerful. Sound familiar? The American Constitution directly reflects this Roman structure, with its 3 branches of government: executive, legislative, and judicial. However, Rome's story also carries a warning. Over time, greed, corruption, and inequality hollowed out the republic. Civil wars erupted, and charismatic generals like Julius Caesar seized control. The republic collapsed into dictatorship and empire. The very system designed to prevent tyranny ended up birthing it. Today, America stands at a similar crossroads. Political polarization economic inequality, and debates over presidential power mirror the crises that destroyed Rome. The question is whether the United States will learn from Rome's fall or repeat it. If Americans forget these lessons, the future could look eerily similar to the collapse of the ancient world. Biblical and religious influences, while Greece and Rome shaped America's political structure, religion shaped its moral foundation. Ancient events in the Middle East, the exodus of the Israelites, the teachings of prophets, and the birth of Christianity would one day echo across the Atlantic. The Puritans who settled New England were driven by the belief that they were creating a new Jerusalem, a city upon a hill that would be a light to the world. This vision was not just political, but deeply spiritual. The moral codes of ancient Israel, laws of justice, charity, and responsibility, were woven into early American life. The Bible was the most widely read book in colonial America. Leaders, like John Winthrop and later Abraham Lincoln, drew from it constantly. Concepts like liberty, covenant, and divine justice became embedded in American identity. Even the abolitionist movement against slavery leaned heavily on biblical language, presenting the fight as a moral crusade, echoing Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt. Today, religion continues to shape debates in America, from questions of morality and justice to the very idea of destiny. Ancient events like the Ten Commandments, the Sermon on the Mount, or the story of Exodus still ripple through U.S. laws and culture. Whether one is religious or not, it is undeniable that these ancient texts helped shape America's sense of purpose, and they will continue to influence its future. Native American systems of governance, it's often forgotten that some of America's most important political ideas came not from Europe, but from Native America. Long before the U.S. Constitution, the Iroquois Confederacy, a union of 6 powerful nations, had created a system of representative government. Chiefs were chosen by consensus, councils debated decisions, and power was shared among the nations. When Benjamin Franklin met with Iroquois leaders, he was stunned by the sophistication of their system. He later admitted that the Founding Fathers borrowed ideas of federalism, separate states united under one government, from the Iroquois model. This ancient influence matters today. America's federal system, where states hold power alongside a national government, reflects the wisdom of native traditions. The lesson is clear. America's future depends not only on European models, but also on indigenous knowledge that valued balance, consensus, and shared responsibility. Ancient warfare and empires, from the fall of Troy to the rise of Rome, from Alexander the Great to Genghis Khan, ancient warfare shaped the world, and its lessons still guide America's military future. The U.S. military studies ancient battles relentlessly. Generals compare America's global power to Rome's legions, noting both the strengths and vulnerabilities of maintaining a worldwide empire. The Persian Empire's vast roads and communication networks foreshadow America's modern highways and internet systems used to project power quickly. But history also warns of overreach. Rome collapsed under the weight of too many wars. Persia crumbled when local cultures rebelled against centralized control. America, with troops stationed in dozens of countries, faces the same danger, maintaining influence abroad while risking exhaustion at home. As new conflicts emerge, cyber warfare, space militarization, AI-controlled weapons, the echoes of ancient empires remind America that no power, no matter how strong, is immune from collapse if it ignores history's warnings. Philosophy and education. No force shaped America's intellectual identity more than ancient philosophy. Aristotle, Plato, and Socrates taught ideas about justice, virtue, and the role of the state that still guide political thought. The Enlightenment thinkers who inspired the American Revolution, Locke, Montesquieu, Rousseau, were themselves students of the Greeks. Jefferson and Madison believed, like Aristotle, that a republic depends on an educated citizenry. Without education, democracy collapses. This is why America invested in schools, libraries, and universities. But today, as debates rage over misinformation, declining education, and a divided public, the ancient warning rings louder than ever. A nation cannot survive if its people are not taught to think critically. The future of America will depend not only on technology and politics, but on whether it can revive the ancient commitment to wisdom, philosophy, and truth. Ancient trade and the global economy. The Silk Road connected China, India, the Middle East, and Europe for centuries, creating a web of trade that transformed cultures. America today is the hub of a new Silk Road, digital, financial, and military. Just as Rome thrived on trade and then fell when trade collapsed, America's future depends on global markets. Lessons from ancient economies reveal the dangers of over-reliance on imports, inequality, and unsustainable debt. The story of ancient trade warns America that the global economy is both a blessing and a weakness. Technology and innovation, from the pyramids of Egypt to the aqueducts of Rome, ancient innovations built the foundation of civilization. America's own rise is tied to technological revolutions, railroads, electricity, flight, and the internet. But ancient history warns of technology without wisdom. Rome's aqueducts collapsed when the empire could no longer maintain them. China's great fleets were abandoned by rulers afraid of change. Today, America faces the same risk with artificial intelligence, climate technology, and space exploration. Will innovation drive progress or self-destruction? The cycles of history, every empire believes it is exceptional. Yet history shows a pattern. Civilizations rise, flourish, and fall. Egypt, Babylon, Rome, the Mongols, the British Empire, all reached heights of power before collapsing. America is not exempt. The question is not whether history's cycles exist. It is whether America can break them. Ancient events show that corruption, inequality, arrogance, and division always destroy nations from within. If America ignores these warnings, it risks becoming another fallen empire in the long chain of history. The United States stands at a turning point. Its future will not be determined by technology alone, nor by politics, nor even by its military strength. It will be determined by whether it listens to the whispers of the past. Ancient Greece and Rome teach the fragility of democracy. Ancient Israel teaches the power of moral vision. Native America teaches balance and consensus. Ancient empires teach the dangers of overreach. Ancient philosophers teach the necessity of wisdom. Ancient traders teach the value of global exchange. And ancient innovators teach the importance of using technology wisely. If America can learn from these lessons, it may achieve what no ancient empire ever did: survival beyond the cycle of rise and fall. But if it forgets, it may join the ruins of history, a cautionary tale for civilizations yet to come. The future of America is not just written in Washington or Silicon Valley. It is written in the stones of Athens, in the ruins of Rome, in the chants of native councils, in the scrolls of prophets, in the markets of Babylon, and in the forgotten roads of the Silk Road. The past is not dead, it is America's future.